Ashanti officially went independent after jarule went to prison. I always got to come back and recap history with y'all fans. Jeffrey Atkins, also known to you as Ja Rule. Remember, Ja Rule caught two cases at the same time. 2007, he caught the gun case where he had the hidden gun in the compartment that he had after he finished doing his show performance in New York. He did have a handgun hidden in a hidden compartment in the car. Now let me tell you something Ja Rule doesn't tell y'all. Everybody knows, everybody in New York and everybody in New Jersey, everybody knows that New York don't play when it comes to possession of a gun. These people will give you 7 years in prison out there. These people will lock you up, throw away the key, and try to forget about you. One thing that everybody in New York knows is whatever you do not get caught with a gun. Because you're not going to get, like in Texas, they just going to wave at you and wish you well. They're not even going to interrupt your day. In New York, you're going to get 7 years in prison. That's how it works. It's always been that way. Ja Rule, he's very familiar with the process. That's why he had his gun in a secret hidden compartment in his car. And not only that, what Ja Rule doesn't tell you in interviews is that he didn't have a little handgun for some security and protection because he was a celebrity. Ja Rule had a semi-automatic handgun. He had a semi-automatic. He had some serious firepower hidden in that car. So anyways, he gets in trouble for that. And, hey, while I'm in trouble for this, his legal team with his lawyer make a genius move. They say, hey, let's go ahead and settle up, on the federal case, and I think that had to do with taxes. Let's settle up with that at the same time, because in situations like that, a lot of times the federal government will allow you to serve your time the same you serve in your state time. So Ja Rule pleads guilty on the gun case, and he pleads guilty on the federal tax case. All of that in 2011 is when he finally got sentenced. So he goes in to do 2 years. He goes to do 2 years in prison in 2011, remember? So he left in 2011. We didn't hear from Ja Rule no more. But we didn't hear from Ashanti either. As far as Ashanti and Ja Rule, because Ashanti would be like, oh yeah, Ja went upstate. So, I had to do what I had to do. I got that. That's clear. But what I'm trying to explain to you is it's not, it's never personal between Ja Rule and Ashanti. It's not personal, it's business. And when he's not able to do business, she's gone. You don't see, it's not personal between them. It's just business. Look at 2013. Ja Rule is still in prison. That is when Ashanti officially started her written entertainment label. That's when she did that on that one, on the rollout album she did called Braveheart. Remember? Okay. So when Ja Rule gets out, it takes him a while to get established because he still was staying, at a post-release facility. Remember? But 2013, yes, was a long time ago. It was almost 10 years ago. And with the exception of the Fire Festival, with the exception of the Fire Festival, Ja Rule has kept it to the code. I'm sure he's not, doing any more violations. He keeping it to the textbook, as best he can. But like I said, Ja Rule is, became a changed man, and so his time in prison, it seemed to, whatever message it was trying to get across to him, it seemed like it's been effective for him because he never got in trouble again, with the exception of the close call from the Fire Festival. Now, what does all this have to do with Ashanti? It has to do with this. Anybody in the music business that does business with Ashanti, if they go to jail, they got to go to upstate, it's heir apparent that Ashanti just keep on doing what she does in business. Come back around later on and say whatever she wants to say in interviews. But in real life, in the real application of her business, she keeps it moving. And I always said, when you go back to like Irv Gotti, she really, she kept it moving, and she should have always been, out front with that. She should have been like, hey, you know what? I'm in the music business. Somebody get in trouble or whatever, hey, I gotta keep paying my bills. I gotta keep pushing. I gotta keep moving. I never ever said that Ashanti should have, rode till the wheels fell off after Irv got in trouble. Irv getting in trouble had nothing to do with Ashanti. I never said it had nothing to do with her. I'm just saying you don't play both sides, especially when you're from New York. You got to choose a side and you got to stand on it. You see what I'm saying? So the way that Ashanti did her business after Ja Rule went to prison for 2 years, where she kept it moving and kept doing her own thing, and then she started her own record label. Okay, that's the same thing she did when Irv went to jail. When Irv went away, she kept it moving. She kept shooting her own movies in Canada. She kept putting out music. She wanted to get away from the label. All of that is fine, but own it. Don't come back and post interviews, and don't ever sit up there and try to act like everything is everything. That 2 years, we ain't never forgot that. I'm going to tell you what song came out. Ja Rule had put this song out. I think it was in '07. It's a song called Her Body or My Body. It was a great song. I don't know if y'all heard it or not, but it came out in like '07. It came out commercially called something Body, and it was a great song. And then that was it. A few years after that, Ja Rule was gone. But the point of what I'm giving you the breakdown is, don't sit here and think that people in the music business that get in trouble and they gotta go away, that Ashanti over here trying to put money on their books all the time and go and visit them all the time and writing letters. No, she is a businesswoman. She continues doing her business and she moves forward, and that's okay. But own that so that I don't have to come on here and tell people the truth and tell your fan base what it really is. And lastly, I'm going to say this to Ja Rule and Ashanti. Keep away from Maya. If you like having your business put all on YouTube, keep on. You see what she did? She went over there and had her whole full photo shoot with Maya in the dressing room. Yeah, I don't know what she's thinking. Like, I don't want no brand to be lent or given or associated with Maya. Maya is trying to be compelled into bankruptcy. Her company needs to go out of business. Right. And I don't need people to be like, oh, that don't have nothing to do with me. Yes, it's going to have something to do with you when you make it have something to do with you. So, anyways, I got to go to bed. I don't know. It's time for me to go back for my re-sleep and get up about 9 o'clock in the morning, maybe 9:30. But anyways, I'm gone. Mike Wilson.